And there it is, Somich, the porn music to open up the Saturday hype show. What's up, Somich?
Horse racing is what's up, man. There's so much going on today. It is absolutely crazy. I actually wrote down a list of things to make sure we talk about, which I've never done for any show in like 355 episodes of Magic Mike. That's how much going on today.
Wait, hold on. You wrote down a list of stuff you want to talk about.
I got to make, you're hosting it, but I've got a little checklist here I got to make sure we get through.
Listen, I have no list. So, I mean, if you want to bring up the topics, that's fine. I'll let you do
ill-prepared. You're ill-prepared.
Well, no, I show up and I just thought you would have nothing, and then we would just go back and forth for a few minutes about nothing. So,
well, I'll first off, okay. We'll do my hit list here. We got two freebies today. So I want to make sure right off the bat we call out two freebies. First off, horseplayers.com, free NHC tournament. If you're a tour member, you can enter for free. They're giving away 5 seats to Vegas. Make sure you go sign up for that and check it out. 5 free seats. Second one also has a 5 involved. So put that 5 back up. ExpressBet giving away $5 million if you can go 15 for 15 today in the 15 stakes races at Santa Anita and Gulfstream Park. So that's free as well. $0 to enter. We got $5 million and we got 5 seats on the line. So make sure you go check those out. No reason not to do either.
Wow. That was a lot. Yeah, the 15 for 15 thing, that's crazy, right? That could be a life changer. Of course, going 15 for 15, that might be a little tough.
Yeah, well, if you go 14 for 15, you're the only one, then you get a trip to the Preakness. So, I mean, still a great thing, but that would be one of those epic bad beats. You're like, I don't want to go to the damn Preakness. Give me $3 million instead. Come on.
Yeah, right. Give me 500,000. How about? I mean,
yeah, the large amount of money versus going to the Preakness. I'll take the large amount of money every time.
All right. Well, listen, since you are prepared and you did a very good promo to start us off there, what is next on your list?
Next on the list, we've got 2 pick 5 sequences that are both absolutely epic. We've got 5 stakes races on the dirt, 5 stakes races on the turf, and coast to coast pick 5s. The turf coast to coast pick 5 is my favorite sequence of the day. Glad you brought that up, Dan. They're $1 denominations, 12% takeout. That means that is going to be big time payouts if you get any balloons in any races, because the dollar denomination is really going to cut down the number of combinations you're going to have, which means that long shots are going to pay more. Favorites, even if it chalks out, it's going to pay more because of that $1 denomination. And again, 12% takeout. So it's going to be the lowest takeout pick 5 with a dollar denomination and some great races. So love both of those sequences. I think the turf one pays more. The dirt one could chalk out pretty hard.
So the dirt one you guys covered on Magic Mike, correct?
We did both. So if you want to go check out both of those sequences, we covered them on Magic Mike. On Thursday, we covered the turf. On Friday, we covered the dirt. The turf one changed quite a bit with a key scratch at Diamond Wow in the last. Both Magic and I like that horse quite a bit. So race 2 back at Keeneland the last time the horse was on the turf. It was Drew the 13 post, and I just couldn't get to the lead. I thought I was going to wire the field today. I like the 4 quite a bit in that spot. I can't remember the horse's name right now, but I think it's the 13th race on the card today.
13th race at Gulfstream Park. You like the 4 Spinderella coming out of a maiden special weight right into the stakes.
There it is. Yeah, the horse had what Justin Dew calls the trip of death on the turf course, which means that you are sitting too wide around the speed. You're like on the hip of the speed on both turns. So essentially, you don't get the easy lead. You're always pressing. You're never getting the rail. Generally, that's a pretty tough trip to win from. This horse broke its maiden doing that, stepping up here. I think it's got a big shot.
Yeah, Grand Motion and ridden by Jose Ortiz. When those two combined, they're pretty solid. That's definitely who Motion's going to call on first for horses that he really likes. And, a Motion maiden special weight debut winner, it's not like it never happens, but usually he's the type that kind of plays a little bit of the long game, doesn't really have him ready to fire first out. So if you see improvement from this horse today, I'm with you. I've got this horse on the ticket too. I think the horse that won last time out at Gulfstream, Apollina, and beside herself were kind of the 3 main contenders there. But yeah, Spinderella better be on the ticket. And as Christopher said, yes, the Motion horse. So it's crazy. It's a crazy ass day. There's just shit going on everywhere.
Yep.
What about, we have the 3 headlining cards, right? Aqueduct, Gulfstream, Santa Anita. As a card as a whole, which one do you like the best today?
Gulfstream. I mean, like Santa Anita's is nice, but the dirt races just aren't as competitive as the Gulfstream dirt races are. I personally have I have more bigger opinions at Gulfstream today. Like I really like Liam quite a bit, who faced Speaker's Corner last time out. I think he's going to get the rail, get the lead, and go wire to wire against that field. I believe that's the eighth race on the card. So I like Liam quite a bit there. There's just horses that I'm interested in. And I think the turf race is really interesting right before the 7th as well. There's a mid-card pick 4 that they switched from the 5th race to the 6th race midweek this week. I'm playing a $10 pick 4 in that mid-card area because I have 3 singles in the 4 races that I think are logical. So I'm excited to kind of get through that mid part of that Gulfstream card as well.
Yeah, 5 through 8, like you said, is going to be the mid-card pick 4. I like those as well. Those can get sneaky sometimes, and they kind of position those races to where the chalkier payouts are going to come earlier, and then that late pick 5. Maybe if there's going to be chalk in the feature, well, you can't do much about that. But other than that, they'll try to surround that with really strong races. Yeah, race 5 through 8, the very one stakes, the Devonadale,
they actually switched it, so it's the 6th through the 9th now. They took the Devonadale out of it because they didn't, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but they switched to the 6th to the 9th on the race day. So the forms that were printed out on Monday, it was 5 through 8. Today on both the ADWs and the forms to go back to DRF is now 6 through 9. I had to switch it on the Sama Bombs. That's how I know.
Well, there you go. I did not know that. Okay,
yeah.
Well, that's great. No wonder that wouldn't take my bet on with Flyers today. Before the scratch of Royal Spirit, how does that change the race dynamic?
Dynamic, not that much. I mean, Royal Spirit wasn't really going to push the pace. At least I didn't think Royal Spirit was going to push the pace. I think there is plenty of pace signed up from there, so I don't think it hurts the horses that are coming from off it much. I think it takes away what a lot of people thought was a likely winner from a favorite perspective. So I think that opens the race up quite a bit. I'm singling a horse in that race. That's I think 6-1 morning line. So I like the race still quite a bit. I thought Royal Spirit was a horse you had to use, but I didn't think was unbeatable in that spot. I think the speed's gonna have a tough time in that race. There's 4 or 5 horses that all want to go. I think it sets up well for. I think it's the 1 and the 9 of the 2 horses I like in there.
Yeah, I think it does definitely open it up because that horse ran very, very well last time out. Gosh, a tough beat. Got beat by the stablemate. I thought this was obviously a little bit easier spot. I'm with you. I don't think it changes the race shape much, but definitely as far as and Christopher says that race is impossible. I don't think it's impossible, but it certainly makes it a little bit tougher with him out. All right, let's move on to your next item on the list, Somich.
We got 4 Derby preps. We got to at least mention the 4 Derby preps, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna.
I figured that was
go around, but all right, let's kick it off. Fountain of Youth. I think it's the biggest one of the day. I think it's the one most likely to produce. Well, you may disagree, but I think it's the one that's most likely to produce the Derby winner. It's a race where there's a few horses we really like, and a few it's like, yeah, they could step up and win here. Give us your thoughts on the Fountain of Youth to kick it off.
I agree with you. I think it's the most likely to produce the Derby winner. I think it also is the most likely to produce a price, if you will. I think that, the Santa Anita race is really down to a 2-horse race. I like Morello quite a bit up at Aqueduct, and so you have shorter prices there that can win. I do think that the 2 best horses are Emmanuel and Simplification. Simplification should get hopefully a better break today, be able to sit much closer to the pace, maybe even be on the lead in that spot if Galt doesn't send from the outside. Emmanuel, I'm really interested to see, because we've never really seen Emmanuel tested in any way, shape, or form. The allowance win at Tampa, the horse just toyed with that field, played him like a fiddle, never really was asked down the stretch, opened up pretty easily after letting them kind of come to him at the top of the turn. I'm not sure if Emmanuel can stalk. I'm not sure if Emmanuel wants to stalk, if he wants to lead, how fast the horse is. Like, there's a bunch of question marks around Emmanuel, who I think is probably the most talented horse in the field, but we don't really know where that talent lies or how much talent there is. So really interested to see Emmanuel today. I think In Due Time is absolutely live. Was able to rock a couple Pletchers that were highly touted last time out, and Ironworks and American Icon. I think that's another horse I'm interested in. I'm interested in Giant Oak, or I'm sorry, Ty Oak coming out of the Mott Barn as well, who we haven't seen since the what was it, Saratoga Special winner, runs in the Hopeful.
Yeah, won the Hopeful.
And haven't seen him since the Hopeful here. And this is how often does Mott aggressively place like this? I mean, off the bench, we're going to take on the Fountain of Youth, who you knew was going to be this tough. It's just a really, really aggressive placement there.
So here's the deal with Emmanuel. I thought about this this morning, kind of thinking like how, because a lot of people are like, he hasn't ran very fast. Look at his times. Look at his speed figures. Look at all this, and it's like he to me is like a quarterback that came in the 4th quarter of a game and threw for 150 yards. But we're not pissed that he didn't throw for 350. They only asked him to play 1 quarter, right? And he did great in that 1 quarter. That's Emmanuel. They really haven't asked this horse to do much. And
No.
when they asked him to do one thing, which was just kick away from glider last time out, he did. And then he just kind of quit running again. Like, if you're gonna just judge the horses in this race off of what they've done as far as speed figures and paces they've ran, you're never gonna get to him. And I get it. It's a different philosophy, right? If you want horses that are established and have proven at the level and all that, you're never gonna get to Emmanuel. It's just not gonna happen. But my dad and I kind of talked about this on our show. He likes the more established ones. I'm always looking for the up and comers. And Emmanuel, to me, checks the boxes as an up and comer that's ready to go and ready to improve. A lot of people are like, I don't know, he ran like a 25 opening quarter and was on the lead. That's not going to happen today. Obviously not. But
Right.
Why would he run 22 last time out when he didn't have to, right?
Well, exactly. And this is odd that I would say Emmanuel falls in the unknown category when I talk about knowns and unknowns. We don't have any clue how good this horse is. We just have been obviously heard the hype around the horse. And we've seen him pass every test he's been asked to do. Now, the tests haven't been very difficult. And so, like you said, we just don't know. And so it's going to be interesting to see how he runs today. And like Chris mentions, does he pass a horse today? Will he have to pass a horse today? I don't know. I don't know if the horse is going to get the lead. I don't know if he's going to sit fourth. And that, to me, is the biggest question mark of the race is, what type of horse is Emmanuel? Is he a speed horse? Is he a stalker? And, I wouldn't be shocked if Pletcher tries to stalk, because that's what he actually wants his horses to do in the Derby, is he wants to sit off the pace, not go directly to the lead. And so I would be surprised if Emmanuel goes to the lead. I think we're going to see him sit third or fourth, try and make a run around the turn, kind of similar to what White Barrio did last time we were at Gulfstream for a prep.
Yeah, Christopher, I think it's a great question. And some people on Twitter are like, he's never passed a horse. How can I get on board this horse? Like, he never has had to pass one. So I kind of think he's not fast enough to get the lead. But like you said, he hasn't really been asked to try to get the lead in a pace like this, right? So it's really going to be interesting. Here's what we're going to do. That's the Fountain of Youth talk. We got race 2 coming up live from Gulfstream. Let's talk about it while they're running. And then we'll go back and do the other Derby preps. That sound good to you?
Sounds good. I'm 3 deep here. I've got the 4, the 9, and the 12 in a press pick 5. So those are the 4, 9, 11. I'm sorry, in the press pick 5. I'm trying to get through. The word was out apparently about this 9 that Sisterson really likes this horse, although he rarely wins first out. The workout reports are very, very good on this 9 horse. So we'll see if he's able to fire. And then I'm playing Rosario with a McPeak first time out. It's wild. That's not my general play, but the 4 Tiffany's Mo 8-1 morning line. I'm sorry, Dale Romans with the Rosario. 8-1 morning line. And again, the last workout was one of the best I've seen from a Clocker's report in a long time. So I think the 4 may run huge here as well.
I did the same thing. I played the 4. I also been there off, by the way. I played the 4 and the 11 as the top 2 choices as well, then sprinkled in the 6 and the 12. All right, so they're off. And where are we? The 11.
11's 4 wide, pressing the pace all the way out there.
Yeah. That's okay, though. I don't think they're going too fast. We haven't seen the first number yet, though. So, 22 and change, 7 furlongs. That's not slow.
No, that is not slow at 7 at all. The 5 is starting to make a nice middle move here, as well as the 8. Who else? I've got the 3 and the 12 in here, too.
So we may have been fooled by the 4, as she is nowhere to be found, I should say.
Yeah, she is not going the right way. The 11 still, the 3 is still holding off the 6. The 11 starting to make a 3 wide move. It looks like it's these 3. I mean, the 8's moving a little bit from the back, but not a ton. And the 6 looks awfully comfortable right now.
Yeah, the 6 looks tough. The 11 is within range, but they've really rode her hard on the outside. But she's still coming, Somich.
Yeah, she's still got a shot here. We got to get her by and keep this going. The 4 is starting to make a move. The 2 is starting to come a little bit too, but it's down to the 6 of the 11. Let's get this 11 by.
Oh, man, the 11, they went left-handed. They went right-handed. He's doing everything he can.
Oh, come on, get up.
Past.
Get your nose down. Oh, 6-11, too.
I think it was the 6. Yeah. That's not good for you.
No, you had the 6, though, didn't you?
I did have the 6, so that's good. Everybody that's played the guide will be happy there. You said the 2 was 3rd?
Yep, 2 finished 3rd. I used the 2. The 2 didn't break very well.
The 2 Silverleaf, I had that horse in 4th like 3 different times when I was handicapping this race this week, and I just never could, sink my teeth into it. I think it was the connections. But yeah, really, though, the only 2 you want out of this race are the 6 and the 11.
Yeah, I mean, those are clearly the two best out of here. Then it looks like the 6 just gets to the wire first over the 11. I mean, honestly, I wasn't high on the 6 going into this. I'm not sure I'm high on the 6 coming out of this either. So I probably don't want anyone out of this race.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And like I say, Vicky informed us this. Vicky said, I always lose my money on him. Yeah,
it's tough, man. I like the 8-1. I didn't like the 5-2. I mean, that's,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll take a look at it, but I'd be surprised. Saez doesn't seem to get taken down very often at Gulfstream.
Saez should have gotten taken down yesterday. I have no idea how he survived that one. So
it's interesting. I was 50-50 on that, and the internet broke saying he should come down, and I was kind of in between on whether or not he should, just because there was the one bump it didn't seem to affect, and then after that they didn't really come together much. But I understood he should come down. I didn't think it was as open and shut as everyone else did.
The thing about me, it was so close. The margin was so close, and it seemed like the horse on the outside was getting ready to pass, and then they would bump just slightly, and then the 7 would get ahead, and then they would get close, and then the 7 would get back ahead when they drift out. By the way, there is an objection in this race, Somich. So
now we got to watch the head on, I guess, because that's going to be the telling one. This would be a big difference for me. This is a lot of press. We got a $5 pick 5 through the 11 here.
Well, here we go.
Yeah. They're already a million wide.
I know.
Let's see here. I mean, if this horse comes out, do they make contact ever though?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, that's right at the wire though. Oh, it's gonna be. I don't think he comes down.
I can't see the 6 coming down there. Sorry.
I think that was less than the contact last time. And so I'd be surprised that if they brought him down here, because they touch right at the wire too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nose, which is the only reason why you could say maybe. But I mean, they actually came home pretty fast too. I didn't even look at the final time. 110. They came home in 123. They came home in 23 seconds. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think this race was that bad. These two horses were on that lead too. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Somich. Since it's a nose and that bump came right before the wire, it could have made a difference here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to stay the same. But again, this is one of those where it's like it is 50-50. You know what I mean? Like I could understand why people are like, well, he bumped him beside the wire and it was the nose, right? And I also understand. I could also understand but it didn't really actually affect the outcome of the race, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, to me, this is a tough one. Again, if they didn't take Saez down yesterday for what he did on the turf, it seems like this is going to be a tough spot to take him down here, right?
Yeah, I can't see him taking him down because of what happened, like what you just said. The other thing is he did touch him twice, one time, but he did hurt him pretty bad. They never really come together, but he really veers out and pushes the other one out a little bit. Now, they never really take that down. But again, we're talking about a nose. We're also talking about a horse trained by Todd Pletcher. I think you got that on your side.
Yeah. I will say this too. Just experience, the more times they look at it, the more likely the horse is to come down.
Yeah.
The longer it takes, it seems like the more often you see those horses come down, just because they kind of keep looking at it. Yeah. And again, like this is why I have the 11. I don't think there's going to be a change. I can understand why there would be though. Like this is why it's so tough to be a steward. You could literally go either direction here on this race. And I wouldn't tell you you're wrong if you made a case for either one. Yeah, he was hurted. Yeah, he hit him. Probably didn't overall affect the race. But you could make a case that did, because it came down to a nose, and it literally 2 jumps after the wire, the 11's by.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is when I don't envy being a steward. It looks like they left it.
Yeah, they did leave it alone. Sorry, Somich. 6-11-2-3-8. For your high five, as Pete Aiello would say. So,
oh, it sucks. I want to get that thing going there, because I like the next 3 races too. Oh well, play back a pick 3.
Yeah, that's what you do. Exactly. If you still like those 3 races and you're out, well, you can still make a little bit of money. But yeah, I know what you're trying to say. That's brutal. Gosh, that was close. Well, see, 11 would have been good. This is where it gets conflicted. It's like I got the 6, but yeah, the 11 would be better for all of us. So just kind of hoping the 11 got in there. Oh, well. All right. let's move on to happier times. Somich, what do you think? Let's move on. Where do you want to go? You want to go San Felipe next?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, San Felipe. I know who you like, but tell the people who you like.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those days where I'm right or I'm wrong. I've been saying Doppelganger is the best Baffert for a while, and we're going to find out today if I'm right. I think it's really that simple. I'm just not as high on Forbidden Kingdom as everybody else. Armagnac, I think, is going to be out on the lead with Forbidden Kingdom. I think that's the reason Baffert put the horse in the race. Doppelganger, I think, is his best. And I think if Doppelganger improves going around 2 turns, and today Forbidden Kingdom doing it for the first time, struggles a little bit with it, I think Doppelganger is going to be able to win pretty easily.
I think that's just the big key. Forbidden Kingdom, if he gets out there and he gets a little tired and he just doesn't, he just doesn't want to do this 2-turn thing, then I think Doppelganger can come get him. I'm with you. It's a 2-horse race. To me, I think Forbidden Kingdom gets to the lead, gets softer fractions, and I really like a sprinter that stretches out for the first time. I just think sometimes they'll get out there, the pace is just naturally a little bit slower for them, and they'll go, wow, this is great. I don't have to run that hard to get the lead. Awesome. So I kind of think that's what's going to happen with him today. Like I said, 2-horse race. I'm with you. I'm not going to be shocked, but I'll take the other with Forbidden Kingdom. Really, there's nothing else to talk about in this race, right? And I mean, if one of these two lose, it's a complete throwaway race to me.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't know how good California is. I mean, outside of Messier, we haven't seen anything come out of it right now, right? And I don't really love the overall California racing. I think Forbidden Kingdom just surprised the Bafferts last time. I don't think you're going to get that same opportunity this time. And we'll see what happens in that race. But either way, I don't think you're going to see the Derby winner out of it. Sorry, Scorpio down here, Forbidden Kingdom, the Derby pick. I think if the races get longer, Forbidden Kingdom gets worse. I think that's going to be a problem going mile and a quarter, especially mile and 16 today. May be able to get the job done, but as we stretch out, it gets more and more difficult for him.
Yeah, Scorpio. I love the name, by the way, and I love the little scorpion thing. That's awesome. All right, let's move on to the Gotham. You said you really like Morello a little bit earlier in the show. I do too, a ton. Let's talk about Morello. Go ahead, you first.
I mean, he looked awesome, right? Like, let's just start there. And last time out, $97,000 stakes race, he cruised and never was really asked, just looked under complete control. It's the first race off a layoff. It was a pretty aggressive placement when you think about it, coming out of a maiden special weight, not running for 5 months, and jumps right back into a $97,000 stakes. Yeah, it wasn't the toughest field. It's the only 5-horse field. But, I mean, again, did everything you could possibly want. Has looked great over this track twice already. Horse is really well bred. Classic Empire out of a Congrats mare. Ashton seems to have everything moving forward on this horse. I think Morello is going to be pretty tough here and has the ability to be on the lead or to be able to stalk it. I think you're going to end up seeing him stalk and pounce. And there's quite a bit of speed in front of him as well, with horses like Bold Journey and Rockefeller in here. So I think you're going to get a nice setup. You got Dean's List as well. For horses that are coming from a little off the pace, and that just sets even more up for Morello.
Totally agree with that. All of that. I just feel like there's a lot of pace in the pace horses. I'm skeptical they really want to go, a mile. I think they're more 6-7 furlong type horses. Morello, like I said, if for some reason the pace is very slow, well, he can get right up on it. But I think he can just drift behind those horses and sit right there and be really, really dangerous. I really like him today. The only weird thing, and I'll ask you this, kind of your take on it. What, like, Asmussen, his best horses are at Oaklawn and Fairgrounds usually. Why did he keep this horse at Aqueduct? Did the horse just surprise him? Like, there's no way the horse showed him that he was going to be really good, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I would lean toward, it's not the A team, right? And much like Rockefeller's not Baffert's A team, and here he is. I think that Aqueduct is a track that Chad Brown, Asmussen, Pletcher, Baffert all use as a, we'll throw the B squad out there, and we can probably get some cheap points and some cheap wins. And I think when, especially when you're Asmussen, like, why would you go to Louisiana, right? No reason. You got Epicenter down there, so you're not going to send anyone down there. You're not going to go to Florida. He doesn't generally compete in the Florida circuit. And so then it's like, okay, well, am I going to send this horse to Oaklawn? Or am I just going to leave it at Aqueduct and see if we end up with a freak here who runs another big race, especially when the horse is 2 for 2 over the track.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It does make sense what you're saying. And I think you're right. I think he could have just spread him out a little bit. And I do think there's a little bit of surprise in this. This horse has been this good. Maybe you liked him, but this is, I mean, like I said, Jared texted me this morning. He said, if you believe in thoroughgraphs, and with any speed figure, I think in these early 3-year-old races, it's more about improvement and how the like talent than it is speed figures. Once you get established, run 6-7 races, then you kind of know. But according to Thorograph, Morello got a 1, and in the smaller number, the better in Thorographs. He got a 1, and I think Jared said the next one was like a 6 or a 5. Yeah. That's a huge difference. So if you're a big Thorograph believer, I think you got to think he's going to blow them out today. So, and also you can speak on this as well. I don't know how much you look at Thoroughgraphs, but to earn a 1 as a 3-year-old this early is very impressive.
Yeah, I'm not a big Thorograph guy, but a 1 this early is very good. The Thoroughgraph's all about recognizing patterns and then just seeing if there's any horses that overlay a field. And if that's the case, I mean, that's a huge overlay, a 1 to a 6 in a race like this. But we mentioned the speed. We mentioned Emmanuel in his last race. I'm actually a little interested in the 2 Glider here, too. He's the other horse that I think has a shot coming off the pace. I think it's interesting that Gallardo follows this horse up from Tampa Bay all the way up to New York here, takes the mount for Cassie. The pace is going to be hot. I think Glider has a shot at coming from off the pace, maybe running up for place money and possibly pulling off an upset here. But he's really the only other one that I was all that interested in this spot.
Yep, I 100% agree. I think that Glider horse is very interesting. And listen, if you think Emmanuel is really good, well, then you kind of like Glider a little bit. Even though he wasn't really close to him, he did at least go up and challenge him at one point. All right, you got anything else on your master list, Mr. Somich?
I mean, there's a tournament over at Ultimate Bet that's $3,500 to enter. One thing I like to say is if people are trying to get into tournaments, a great way to do it is to take these tournaments and play it for 1/10, right? So that you have a $2,500 live bankroll today, play it for $250 or even play it for $25 and just follow the rules and then see where you can end up on the leaderboard. I think people would actually get better at gambling by following those principles. I mean, we talked about it when we played together at Lone Star last year, some of the strategies around it. And you set yourself up for some big scores because of how aggressive you are. You pass more races, you're focused more on win bets, doubles, things like that have an easier chance to hit. I think it's an easier way to be profitable long-term for a lot of people, and they never really try it. So on these big days, I always think it's worth trying it. So the rules for that tournament are you got to bet at least $2,500. You got to bet at least $200 on 5 separate races. So if you do that for $25, you got to bet at least $25 and you got to bet at least $2 on 5 separate races. Pretty easy to do. Kind of see where you'd end up in the tournament by trying it.
Yeah, I love the live bankroll tournaments. I think that's where for me, that's where the most fun is. And Nick also says he's in a Breeders' Cup betting challenge qualifier today. Can't wait. First time in a live format. Yeah, I think those are a ton of fun. And like I said, the bankroll even more fun. And you're right. Why I like it is if you love 2 or 3 races, you can win it.
Yep.
Right. You just have to be smart and just hammer it. Bet your minimums. Try to play safe in those other races. And if you hammer 1 or 2 opinions, you win the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of it. Like the Lone Star one that we were in, I bet hard like 2 or 3 races and had a chance to win or at least qualify for the NHC seat there. So, yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's a good one as well. All right. Anything else, Somich?
Nope. That was pretty much it. Yes, and obviously come check out the Racing Dudes 5:00. We'll be live for the 3 major preps. So you can check us out for that as well. We could talk about Turfway if you want to talk about Turfway. I don't know if we really want to. I mean, they have a Derby prep today over the synthetic as well, but meh.
Turfway's like Bruno. No. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Turfway. All right, final question. Dennis stole it. This is what I usually ask on these big days like this. Do we see the Derby winner today? Dennis wants to know. I want to know. Do we see the Derby winner today?
No.
Didn't know if he was having a seizure or if he was thinking.
There's only one horse running today that can win the Kentucky Derby.
Really? Let's hear it.
It's only Emmanuel. No one else running today can win the Kentucky Derby.
I'm not going to go that far.
Well, who else would you put on the list?
I think if Doppelganger wins today, it's Baffert. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the only horse running today. I'm sticking with it, man. Because look, simplification in due time, respect the heck out of them.
Yep.
I don't think they're good enough to win the Derby. Emmanuel could be good enough to win the Derby. We don't know yet. I'm not interested in Forbidden Kingdom, so that for me is out. Doppelganger, I would be, but Baffert, so he's out. Don't think Morello's winning the Derby, so I think it's Emmanuel or nobody.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I don't think we see the Derby winner today either. I don't. I think it's definitely possible. I think on days like this, somebody always kind of jumps up and surprises you too that you weren't quite thinking of. So, like, what if Morello wins by 10? All of a sudden, it's like, I know it's the Gotham, but he's really good. I mean, this shit is
Yeah.
possible. Like,
Yeah.
a horse with one freaking eye won last week, Somich. So anything is possible.
But you know what? He's not going to win the Derby.
No, I
throwing
don't
it
think
out
so
there.
either. I'm just throwing shit out there, covering all our bases here.
Who's the most overbet horse in a Derby prep today?
Most overbet horse in a Derby prep. Okay, it's a hard question because I am really confused on how the Fountain of Youth is going to get bet.
Okay.
I really don't know what's going to happen there. Like, if Simplification is the favorite, he's probably overbet, right?
Agree.
So he would be a good answer. And then the Gotham, if Rockefeller takes a lot of money, I think he will be a very good candidate. I don't like him that well. So I would say one of those two. Yeah, and okay. Well, again, I look at Rattle and Roll and think, well, shit, he'll be 10-1 at least. But you look on Twitter and it's like he's going to be 3-1. If he's under 5-1, he's the answer. But I go back to my point. Sometimes what you read on Twitter isn't really reality when the betting comes.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting because the horses that scratched, the Giant Game money and the Mo Donegal money, I think is also Rattle and Roll money in a way. Where I think people that wanted to bet those two horses are more likely to gravitate toward Rattle and Roll, and people like that. Well, this is the only Grade 1 winner in the field. It's like, oh, come on, that wasn't a great Grade 1. Classic Causeway wasn't Classic Causeway yet, and the horse that ran second, I can't remember his name's absolute trash. I remember so let's not call it was like I think Andy Sterling said it was the NX1 masquerading as a Grade 1, and it's a very accurate statement because that was not a great field at that time. So yeah, I can't. I'm bummed that Mo Donegal's not in this race because I couldn't wait to bet against that horse. Double Thunder.
I know that he would have definitely been double Thunders in a turf race today. It really, Nick. I mean, you really think he's got a shot to go off at 3-1?
I think he's going to be like 9-2. That's my guess. Somewhere in that 9-2, 4-1.
That's my answer if that's reality. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm very confused. Because the San Felipe, it's like those two are going to get bad and they should get bad. I think the Gotham, I don't think Rockefeller takes just a shit ton where he's like 2-1. I think they'll all get it's going to come from the Fountain of Youth. And somebody's going to get overbet here. And it very well could be Emmanuel. Like, I like Emmanuel, you like him, but we don't want him at 4-5. So hopefully he doesn't get bet like that.
Anyone at 7-5 or less is overbet in that race.
Yes.
And I don't think that anyone will get bet down to 7-5. But if anyone does, they're overbet in that race. I think if Dean's List takes money in the Gotham, that horse could get overbet 7-2 morning. If he ends up going off with a 2-1 favorite, something like that, I think that's not a great favorite there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because you've got three preps. The one in California, you got, in my mind, a 2-horse race, right? Mm-hmm. The New York one, shit could get weird if that pace does go absolutely nuts. And the Florida one, I think, is the most intriguing because you have the most talent. So I'm excited for all three of these races for very different reasons.
Yeah, I think that you laid it out perfectly there. I'm with you. You're right. You have to. What are the dynamics of each one? You can't judge all three the same because they're going to be wildly different. And again, with the Fountain of Youth, just to kind of add to what you're saying, it's the one where the pace could just be Simplification and nobody else. The pace could be 3 or 4 horses. It's just so much mystery in that race. So yeah, and that's what makes it fun. By the way, 6 minutes to post to the first stakes at Gulfstream. Never Surprised. It's Canadian turf. Never Surprised is what is he now? 3-5. We'll end it with this. I mean, this horse doesn't lose, right?
It's the French horse on the outside, Chad Brown, first time in North America that if this horse gets beat, that's who beats it, right? Mouliage. I don't know how to pronounce that name. But the 7 horse is the one that if the 2 somehow loses this race, it's the 7. I don't see who can press the 2, which I think makes the difference here. I think the 2 is tough to beat here. I was my pick 5 that was pressed was single. I like the 1 quite a bit in the next race. I think the course goes gate to wire. So I was 2-1-5 in a cold pick 3 here, just to try and get something for spice before we get to that pick 4 in the 6th race.
Yeah, I agree. My theory on that is even if this Chad Brown horse is good, he's going to be really good because, listen, Never Surprise from the 12 hole almost won the Pegasus World Cup Turf and got beat by his stablemate and got passed late. So we're saying basically got a better post, got a better race setup. This Chad Brown horse is going to have to be a monster. Now, he might be, but I'm going to bank that he's not good enough.
Yeah, the key for me, too, is there's no pressure. Like, Noble Indy, Siglioso, like, are they going to be the ones that push Never Surprised up front here? Because someone needs to make Never Surprised fold or soften him up is, I guess, the way that people, they're on TV. They got to soften up the two here so that someone can get by. I don't think anyone can soften up the two in this spot. I think that the two is going to have it pretty much his own way out front.
Well, it's time to play the porn music after that deep voice by Mike Somich. So, no, I'm just kidding. All right, guys.
Good day, everybody.
For more Mike Somich porn voice, come back at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. We'll be live for all three of the Derby preps. It's going to be a lot of fun. My lunch is here, Somich, so we're getting off of here for now. But like I said, come back, 4 o'clock. We'll be here. All right, that's it, Somich. Any closing thoughts before I play the outro?
No, man, I'm excited. It'd be fun to come back. Good job by horse racing this weekend. Thank you for having all three preps within an hour window. Great job with Stronach with coming up all this stuff. Monday, big race. Oh, tomorrow, mandatory payout at Gulfstream, pick 6. Monday, mandatory payout at Golden Gate, pick 6. And we got Santa Anita on Monday. So Monday is an official racing day this week as well. So it's a huge weekend.
That's right. Tune in Monday. It's going to be Monday may even be better than Sunday. I don't know. There's a mandatory at Gulfstream. They're all three going to be great. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, we'll be here all 3 days. All right, guys. We will see you a little bit later on. Good luck until then. And
I hope no more lost photos. That was the only one of the day. Get it out of the way.
I love it. Let's get it out. Get it out. If you get the lost photo out in the second race, and there's 13 races, you can win the last 11 easily.
Bang.
All right. See you guys at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock Eastern.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,